Well, good morning again. Day two here in Sequoia and Kings Canyon. Right between Sherry and I is the General Sherman Tree. It is by volume the largest tree on earth. And they consider volume the circumference and height. And this thing is over 103 feet around. So we'll show you some additional videos once we get down there, but we're still about 30, 40 feet above it. Here's another one of the large sequoias. But look at the burl that is on that tree. You can only imagine what that would be like. Anybody that's familiar with burls from the trees. Grandpa Dale, you know what the burl forest up in Alaska was like, or maybe that was British Columbia. But anyway, imagine that. Here in front of the General Sherman Tree is a nice kiosk. If you have the opportunity to pause and look at this, we'll try to zoom in a little bit so that maybe you can read some of the different sections about the tree. And as we show the diameter, I misspoke on that last section of video. Diameter is 36 feet across, but circumference is over 103 feet around. One last view here of the General Sherman, the largest tree on earth. Truly hard to fathom. Video does not do it justice, the size and the mass of this tree. So we're on the Congress Trail through with the kiosk, and everything indicated was the Walk of the Giants. So I'm going to pause here a second and just kind of show you again some of the big trees. Just everywhere we go, you're just walking among these. So we'll come across a group that they call the Senate trees, and then the House trees. So that's the name, Congress.
Here's an excellent view of a burn scar. Hard to tell how old this one is, but some of them are really old.
Yeah, the ranger yesterday, as she was saying, the giant sequoias are very, very resistant to fire. But obviously that one was in the wrong place.
As Mike mentioned, we're on the Congress Trail, and here is a glimpse of the president. I won't be able to get all the way up, I'm sure. But I'll come back down and take you over here where this grouping is called the Senate. It's a grouping of trees. spectacular sight.
We're having to share the trail with an 8-point buck.
Freaked Mike out.
Yeah. I'm walking one way, he came around that rock, and I guess we're playing chicken to see who gets off the trail.
Well, we're gonna keep going.
No.
I guess we'll stop.
I can't see him right there.
Right after this one, up came another one right behind him. In addition to all the sequoias that we're seeing, here are these petite, beautiful little flowers along the trail. One thing we failed to mention is that we are over 7,000 feet. I think Mike said 7,300 at this point. We're only 2 miles into our 8-mile hike. Possibly some of this will get monotonous on a video. However, amongst it, it just does not get old. These trees are massive, beautiful, and after learning a lot of the history, it just is much more meaningful even.
So we've paused here at the base of another giant sequoia. You can see it barely fits in to the frame. But what we thought was interesting to show, we learned this yesterday from the ranger, is obviously we all know about pine cones, but sequoias drop, of course, sequoia cones. And you can see maybe how tight they are and the seeds within them. As most of you probably know, it needs fire to open them up, to allow them to germinate, and then voila, 2,000 years later, you get a giant sequoia.
Another thing worth noting, here on the trails in Sequoia, there's much more solitude. We haven't seen anybody, at least for a mile, except those 2 deer. It's just so quiet and peaceful.
So as we're walking in this solitude, as Sherry mentioned, seeing this giant tree begs the question, when it fell in the forest and no one was here, did it make any noise? I'm thinking something like thunder.
I had to capture these white little wildflowers. They look so much like baby's breath. Interesting sight here. You could maybe guess that this tree's probably been laying here for hundreds of years. And we noticed these 2 pine trees, or maybe they're sequoias, growing right out of that tree trunk. And then to take you over here to where the path is, look at how it cracked right there. That's where the path is going to take us right through.
One of our stops along our 9-mile hike is going to be Tharp's Log. This was actually a cabin that a gentleman named Hale Tharp made inside this 70-foot hollowed out giant sequoia stump. You can see where he added a chimney and closed the end with a little shingled cabin. And he lived here as his summer home from 18 '58 to 1890 when Sequoia became a national park.
Wow, wow, and wow. We
Yeah.
just had the most amazing hike of all time.
Yeah, I'm not even sure wow is the right word to describe it, but there are no others. Yeah, we were 8.6 miles through the Trail of the Giants, the largest trees on earth. It was amazing.
It was. We got caught in the rain.
Yeah, but we found a rock we were able to get up underneath, got away from that. We went, did a big loop so we saw the General Sherman Tree that we brought you, and yeah, the trail conditions were fantastic. It was really good. So
I highly recommend this one. If anybody ever gets out to Sequoia,
yeah,
it was beautiful.
Yeah, this was suggested to us by the ranger at the visitor center, so it was a great recommendation. We're hoping we run into her again to say. But now we're on the pizza deck of the Whatsachi.
And they just brought our pizza, so
yeah.
Hey, cheers.
So cheers after 8.6 miles, and we will see you here in a bit.
Here's a quick view of our lobby. Boring to you guys, I'm sure, but very awesome to us. It's just so comfortable, very mountainy, relaxing. Thought you would like to see it. Well, I guess that's a wrap for today. We're going to sit here in this lovely area in front of our lodge. We're going to do some journaling and reading and think about what we're going to do tomorrow, day 3 of our time here in Sequoia National Park. See you tomorrow.